Good morning. Yeah, that was a little lame. Let's try it again. Good morning. Good morning. Much better, much better. Welcome to Super Sunday. Whether you're a Philadelphia Eagles fan or a Kansas City Chiefs fan, this is your day, and I promise you we will get you out of here in time for the Super Bowl. I'm Jonna Swenson. My pronouns are she, her, hers. I am joined this morning by our minister, Reverend Thomas Capo, who will present today's message along with myself. We're so pleased you're here. Whether you're on site, in your jammies, we envy you. We want to be in our jammies too, but we're here. Thank you. Or whether you're somewhere else. We welcome you in the fullness of your age, your race, your ethnicity, and your ways of being in body and mind. We have a long tradition here at UUFVB and UU in general of embracing the full range of gender expression, sexual orientation, and spiritual backgrounds. Together, we work to be a community of open minds, loving hearts, and helping hands. And I will add that we're working on building a beloved community. If you're visiting for the first time, a special welcome to you. I hope you feel warmly welcome today and that our message speaks to you and that we will see you again very soon. If you're here in person, stop by our welcome table if you haven't already, which is in our main hall. We hope that you will join us for coffee hour after the service. Just follow the crowd. You know what to do. If you're new, grab a red cup. If you're not so new, find the folks with the red cup and welcome them, please. Please silence your phones or your devices at this time so you can give us your full attention. I have a couple of short announcements. Laura Matson will be doing a sermon after the service here, and it will be recorded, so you're welcome to come see that afterwards. And also, while I've got the pulpit for a couple of minutes, Rev Tom said I could make a plug for the auction. Who's ready to have an auction here? I am. I'm very nervous. I get nervous this time of year as the auction chair. Now that our yard sale's behind us, I want to thank everybody who helped for the yard sale. It was a wonderful success. Now it's time to focus on the auction. I need a little bit of help in that area. Mostly right now, I get nervous because we need to solicit for donations. And that means from area businesses. If you're good at it, and I know some of you probably are, and you want to go solicit, then please see me. I have a list of businesses that we did business with, or they gave us donations last year, and I'm sure they're willing to do that again. So if you have a special knack for doing that, please see me. If you want to donate something, I have some good suggestions. Personally, if you want to donate something personally, I can give you a lot of suggestions in that area. I also have tickets for sale. When is the auction? March 29th. Okay, so come one, come all. If you don't want to come, you can always buy a ticket and give it to someone else. Okay? So with that, we will start the service. Thank you.
There is welcome in this place. It is our tradition to light a chalice at the beginning of our services. And it's also our tradition, which is not necessarily the case in every congregation, that you all actually say the words of the chalice lighting, which I think is fantastic. So, if you will join me, whether you are from the south, the east, the north, or the west, whether you were born into this faith, found it, or it found you, whether you feel at home or still trying to find your place, whether you believe in God, are open to mystery, or still have no idea, whether you are unemployed, underemployed, cobbling things together, overworking, or in school, whether you are gay, straight, genderqueer, bisexual, transsexual, pansexual, or anisexual, whether you are holding anxiety, grief, confusion, anger, hope, restlessness, or deep peace, Unitarian Universalism has a place for you. It's right here, and this chalice is lit for you.
So, this hymn is called All the Colors of the Rainbow, and it is set to a tune that is a kind of a Christian hymn tune, which some of you may know. It's not in our hymn book. It was new to most of the choir members. But I found a resource online called the Hymn Society that has an entire grouping of LGBTQ hymns and other songs. The anthem that we will be singing today and the introit that we sang today came from this grouping, does this hymn. So Elisa's going to play the whole thing through once, and then we're going to sing the first two verses. Rise as you are willing and able.
This is a time in our service when we do the story for all ages. And Claire Cook has generously come up to help me with this. So we will present the story to you. We want to tell you that the introduction for this month is all-inclusive. So we chose this story based on what today's sermon was about. So here we go.
Okay, this time for all ages is Call Me Max. It was written by a trans author, Kyle Lukoff, and Jonna and I will be Max, all right? When I look into the mirror, I see a boy who is transgender.
Transgender is a long word, but it means something simple. Trans means going across, like how transportation means going from here to there. Gender means being a boy or girl, or being a little of both.
When a baby is born, excuse me, a grown-up says it's a boy or it's a girl. But sometimes that baby might say, "No, I'm not."
My parents thought it was cute when I put on my dad's ties. I like to sleep in my Batman shirt. When they bought me a dress for the first day of school, I lost it. I didn't tell them I lost it at the bottom of the garbage can. I wore my favorite overalls instead.
On the first day of school, the teacher called out our names. I raised my hand when she got to my name, and I said, "Can you call me Max?" Max is the boy in my favorite book. She nodded and wrote it down. I won't tell you what my real name was. That's private.
I had to go to the bathroom after snack. At home, there is one bathroom for everyone to use. When I went to the store with my dad, I went into the bathroom with him. When I went to the movies with my mom, I went into the bathroom with her. But at school, I had to pick which bathroom to use.
When I went into the girls' bathroom, a girl ran out. She thought I was a boy. I didn't mean to scare her.
I used the boys' bathroom instead. But when I came out, I saw kids giggling and pointing. I decided to hold it all day. And I tried not to drink too much water, no matter how thirsty I got.
Making friends was easy, but everyone asked if I was a boy or a girl. I told my friend Teresa that I wanted to be a boy. She asked me why. Because I like climbing trees, I told her, and looking for gross bugs. She looked mad. I am a girl, she told me, and we climbed this tree together. I also caught more spiders than you did. Why don't you think you're a girl? Because I don't feel like one inside.
One day, my friends came over to play. My parents heard them call me Max. During dinner, they asked me why. I told them all about school, how I couldn't go to the bathroom, how I didn't like my old name, how I felt like a boy.
My mom and dad talked to my teacher, and we found a group for kids like me. Boys and girls, and kids who weren't boys or girls. All of us were transgender. We talked about serious things like bathrooms and teasing. We also talked about fun things like video games and books and toys.
You see, being a boy isn't better than being a girl, but being myself is the best. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Go ahead.
And now let's sing the children out. Okay. Well, there are a number of people here. Have you looked at all the people that are here? There's a lot of people here, yeah. Why don't we take a few moments to greet some of these people? Say hello, get to know who they are. All right? I forgot to tell you, I'm going to introduce the last hymn.
Okay.
Because I want to talk
Yes.
to the history about it.
Perfect.
Okay.
I'm perfectly happy for you to do that. I did want to just talk about the fact that I got these other hymns, though.
No, but
The other songs.
I didn't have anything to say, but I wrote something.
Perfect.
Okay.
Perfect.
All righty.
Perfect.
Well, good morning, by the way.
Good morning.
Yeah.
The lady who wrote that jingle of the children being let out is sitting in the audience.
Oh, really?
Her name is Ann Hostler.
Okay. Oh. That dinner bell, that's right. Well, as we all get back to our seats and settle down here a little bit, is Ann Hostler here? There she is right there. Apparently she wrote this song we sung just a moment ago to sing the children out. So if you like that song, go talk with her and let her know. We have such... Rounds are challenging. But watch out, there may be a round in your future. All right. This is a time in our service when we acknowledge that we each come together with our own joys and sorrows, gifts and needs. Before me is water, the very sustenance of life. Water can buoy you up, nourish, cleanse, and replenish you. It is the source of life which creates beauty in the very making of tears. This community, like water, is the very sustenance of one another's lives, especially when you can remember the sacred obligation to buoy each other up in times of sadness, to nourish one another in times of want, to cleanse one another with acts of kindness and generosity, and to replenish one another when our hearts are weary and worn. Today, with this water, I remind us visually of our sacred obligation to this, the greater whole. I add salt for the tears that have fallen this last week. May we remember that there are those among us in pain, so let us be tender with one another, for we know not what is held in the silent sanctuary of one another's hearts. And I add some flowers to remind us of the beauty and joy that surround us in our lives, that floats on the surface of many of our faces and enlivens our spirits. In a moment, I will invite those who would like to or find it meaningful to come forward and place pebbles in the collective bowls. However, if you would like me to add a stone for you, what I ask you to do is to raise your hand. Okay. Make sure we got 1, 2. Now I invite those who would like to come forward and place your stone in a bowl. May all that we offer one another keep us connected and blessed during this hour and within the week ahead. May it be so. Amen.
This is a time in our service when we share our shared offerings. Today is Substance Sunday. It's the second Sunday of the month, and some of you have graciously brought some goods for the food pantry. To contribute to the fellowship, place your offering in the envelope found on the back of the pews, or donate to UUFVB by clicking on the QR link with your phone. To me, this is all new technology, but it works. If you point your camera at that picture, it'll lead you to the right website. Today, like I said, is Sharing of Substance Sunday, one of our social justice outreach efforts. On the second Sunday of every month, the loose cash you place in the offering basket supports both the food pantry of Indian River County and our fellowship's monthly meals for persons in transitional housing. The non-perishable foods and toiletries you have brought today are delivered to the Indian River Food Pantry, as well as most of the loose cash. The loose cash offering also finances meals in transitional housing. Our fellowship's meal team prepares and delivers the meals to 3 transitional housing programs each month: Camp Haven, James Arthur Court, and Naomi's Place. These agencies provide formerly homeless persons, men and women, with intern housing. As we receive the offering, let us do so graciously and generously. Thank you.
And now we move into a time for prayer or meditation. The following meditation is called Blessing for Kin by Unitarian Universalist Reverend Sean Parker Dennison. We each have our own way to enter the space. You might take a deep, slow breath. You might let your eyelids rest. You might place your hands in your lap. Perhaps even wrap your fingers around one another to ground you in this time, in the space, the words you're about to listen to. I invite you to turn your attention within and listen to the words and feel the space between the words. I wish you a single story, not a simple fairy tale with only happiness, but one life without secrets or omissions, without the need for fake faces, one pointed outward and the other inward and real. I wish for you the twin beauties of clarity and consistency, knowing that the singular word that holds all of you together, all of you, it wants all of you. I wish you no need to hide, no need to live in the shadows or half-truths, no need to cover the spark and sparkle of your heart, to keep it from catching the light of the sun or the moon. I wish you wholeheartedness that arises from liberty before needing to be freed. The completeness that precedes breaking the integrity of your being, a unity undivided and boundless. I wish you a far-reaching welcome from within, full and absolute acceptance, nothing withheld from yourself, unrealized or unfinished. And I wish you a place and a people who do not want you in pieces, incomplete and partial. I wish for you a world that no longer asks anyone to wrench apart their heart or divide their soul from mind, from nature, from core. I bless you with all that is whole. Bless you. Amen.
With a light
Before I get started, I would like to just say, let us be a welcoming congregation. What does that mean to me? From the moment I walk through these doors, I was welcome. You had made me feel all the colors of the rainbow. But as the chair of the welcoming committee, I want to let you know that I am only one person. I would like my welcoming committee to stand up and be recognized at this time. All of my members, please. These are my welcoming committee members who do the hard work and we have some pretty heavy hitter players on this committee. They have done some marvelous work, all of which cannot be done by one person. And I am proud to say that we have gotten recognition once again for 2024 to be a renewal of welcoming congregation here at UUFBB. We're very proud of this particular commitment. We're very proud that you support us. We're very proud that you welcome us, and we affirm the LGBTQ plus community. You hear it in our songs, and by the way, thank you, Elizabeth, for supporting. Thank you for the wonderful choir, my choir. I will be back. Everybody has thought that I have stepped down from the choir, but I just took a little hiatus. We all get a little overwhelmed, so I will be back. I promise you. So thank you, everyone, for the support that you have shown me. It goes to our UU values that many of us have inherent worth and dignity. And that spoke to me volumes. I have inherent worth and dignity. But not only do we speak those words, we show it with action. And love being at the center of that is just tremendous to me personally and to everyone that I have touched here at UUFBB. You are my family. One day I will write a book, and it's going to be called Overhaul: The Road to Transition. Today I'm going to tell you a little bit of that road. I am a transgender woman of a certain age. You know, women don't like to divulge their true age. I was born on a small New England dairy farm in the town of Bethlehem, Connecticut. Famous only one time of year and affectionately dubbed the Christmas town. Population 3,385, give or take a few. I've lost some very close friends recently. I was born a male and grew up on that farm. A joyous occasion for someone like my father, because he thought he would have a future farmer. The stage was set for a long, painful battle for the person who was trapped in the body and had other thoughts. Thoughts of being an identity not in sync or alignment with the assigned gender. The farm life was one of constant chaos and work, long hours and hard labor. Leon can attest to this. He also grew up on a farm. You have to pull your own weight and be expected to perform day in and day out, regardless of the physical and emotional stressors. As a young boy, I remember as much as many as my memory allows me to, not always being able to carry my own weight. I would be yelled at constantly, and sometimes physically hit to the ground. Hearing a voice say, "Will you ever amount to anything?" My father was a big man with hands twice as big as some that I've seen and I've ever witnessed. I saw stars when being struck, and many days were long and hard in this environment. The pain and the agony gave me a sense of hopelessness. I started questioning my being into this gender and whether it felt right for me. I felt ashamed of myself. I had no self-worth. I lost my dignity at times. I started relating to the girls in the family and admiring the things they did. There was much relief in watching the femininity and imagining myself as a girl. I knew I was more like them. I wanted to do things like them, all the time being in my male body. I began experimenting with my mother's clothes behind closed doors in the darkness of the night. It felt good and right to me, but I couldn't understand why. I had an unshakable feeling that life would have been better if I was just born a girl, or that my life would have made much more sense if I was born in a girl's body. Each year I blew out the candles on my birthday cake wishing I was a girl. As I grew into puberty, I watched other girls develop close relationships with their friends, thinking to myself, that's the way it should be. I continued to see, I couldn't understand why, because I couldn't see past my own body. I continued with the struggles and comforted myself with cross-dressing behind closed doors. The feeling of helplessness grew stronger and stronger by the day. Shame and guilt would take its toll on my mind. I began afraid to engage in my femininity because it might be revealed as a weakness. I went through periods of depression. I contemplated suicide at times. My relationships with close partners would suffer. I became numb to life's pleasures. I felt homesick in my own home. I felt different, but not able to say why. I felt I had more in common with the other women and the girls in my life than the boys. My clothes never seemed to fit right, just like Max, even though they did kind of fit. I felt like my body was like a set of poorly fitting loose clothes, but couldn't figure out how to take them off, so I could put on the right ones. Every Christmas, I opened presents, wishing they were girls' undergarments and getting disappointed because I didn't get them. I felt a sense of justice at an early age because I knew what injustice felt like. The feeling of wanting to be a girl never went away. It only grew stronger day by day. I would wait years to act upon it. I did not feel that it was safe to come out and suppress my feelings and guilt. But as a firefighter, the farm finally burnt to the ground in 1986 was actually a blessing in disguise. We didn't know it at the time. And I started a career as a firefighter EMT. And this is a picture of me as a male. I saw so much happen when I was a firefighter EMT, both good and bad. I saw people in their worst hour. I saw some people in their best hour. I experienced things that shaped my soul to what it is today. It was an honorable career and one that I'm proud of. I would work side by side with some people that just were my mentors. The gender didn't matter much to me. There were females that could do the job just as well as the males. Even though firefighting is traditionally a masculinity job, I saw females do it just as well. Wonderful, caring people. And on the healthcare side of things, when I was on the ambulance, I worked with some of the most amazing people that you would ever meet in your life. The nurses that I had contact with, I had a special, and I still have a special place in my heart for those people because they are so caring and loving. You know, my daughter's a nurse. I wanted to become a nurse, but just wasn't in the cards. Many times, life is held in the balance, you know. But people who are trained to take care of other people, they're amazing. And I learned from those people. I watched what they were doing. And I, too, became one of those people that was caring and loving and could help other people. Today, I am retired from that, but, you know, if I ever want to get my fix of it, I turn on the TV and I watch Chicago Fire, Chicago Med, or Chicago PD. You can get your fix. I truly believe that my journey and stage, and it really set the stage for me, realizing that I could be a different gender that I wanted to, if I had wanted to be. As I learned to overcome the obstacles and barriers, I knew that with persistence and patience and hard work, and yes, that meant many hours of therapy. It meant many hours of self-help, if you will. Many things to get me to where I wanted to be. But I was willing to do the work because I knew that the outcome would be tremendous. And my turning point would come as my egg shell started to crack. And that's the way it's described. You know, having this journey and seeing the journey that I took and the egg starting to crack, finally, what happened was I decided after firefighting that I wanted to drive a tractor trailer. Not only drive one of those big things, but during COVID, before, during, And just a little tiny bit after, and I won't say it was over completely because that's kind of when I found this place, but I will say that it was a turning point for me. When I saw what I saw out there, and you folks experienced it here too, but we were out there, we saw people with masks, we saw people social distancing, we saw people yelling at each other not to be close to one another. We did not know what this thing was. And so I decided, after those long hours of being by myself, that I wanted to do what I wanted to do. And there was no stopping me because, life is short. We could be gone tomorrow. So I made the decision. I made the decision to come out. What was it like for me? Well, it was nerve-wracking. It was painful. It was complicated. It was risky. It was accepting who I really was to myself first, and then to everybody else. It was finding out who my true friends were, finding out who my family is. And I will say, you are all my family. Sometimes it doesn't have to be your blood family that gives you the most support, but thank you from the bottom of my heart because you are my family. You can see who you can trust and what kind of information you can give to other people, and whether or not they're going to be confidential with it. And I will say that a lot of my friends are confidential with a lot of my information. It was finding a true freedom. It was and still is exhilarating. It's empowering. It's accepting myself for who I really am. It's a step towards taking away the shame and guilt. It's taking ownership of my life. It's risky. It removes the barrier to a whole person. It feels like peace. It feels like freedom, regardless if somebody else wants to take that away. It feels like a heavy burden has been removed and I can almost fly. It feels like being alive. It feels like a privilege. I know what it's like to feel my gender. I know what it's like to exist in a society as both a man and a woman. I feel lucky to be a woman that I've chosen to be. I value the emotions I experience because I know what it's like to have no emotions. It feels like butterflies in my stomach sometimes. But I get to be a woman, and you've seen it. It feels wonderful. It feels like a perfect hug. It feels like I finally found the perfect clothes, and they fit right. And you all know that I love clothes and shoes. My decision to become a transgender has changed my life. It's unique and bold, one that was done carefully with thought, and both mentally and physically. My hope for anyone wanting to change their gender is that they have the support, the love, the resources to do it healthy and have a positive outcome. My sincere, heartfelt thanks to all of you, my extended family. You are my extended family. It will be a work in progress for the rest of my days here. Thank you for the dignity and the worth. Thank you for letting me be a human being. To my pinup community, and I have many, many pictures of pinups. You all know that I love the pinup. It is who I am. It is an expression of the gender. It is an expression that I love doing. I feel so free doing it. I want you to please shape your hands into a heart. From one of my favorite vocal female artists, Pink, and her album Trauma. This is called What About Us? We are rockets pointed up at the stars. We are billions of beautiful hearts. And you sold us down the river too far. What about us? What about all the broken happy ever afters? What about love? What about trust? What about all the plans that ended in disaster? Sticks and stones may break our bones, but then are you ready? Because I'll be ready. Because now is the time to let them know we are ready. What about us? We are the children that need to be loved. Dangerous people can make dangerous laws. They can try to change and take away our dignities and our rights, but we will never, never let them totally do that. And you know why? Because there's one thing that they cannot take away from us, and that is our pride and our spirit. So there's two things that they really can't take away: our pride and our spirit. Thank you for letting me tell my story. I love all of you. God bless.
I don't know if I can follow that. Think of mine as a homilini that just builds on what you've just heard. But first, Jonna mentioned the certification. There's a picture of it. You'll find in our entryway, there is our welcoming congregation certification. I hope you take a moment to read it, look at it. And I hope you know what it means. We've kind of alluded to it today, but we haven't said it explicitly, and I really feel like it's important for me to say it. I don't know if you've looked on our website, but it says what it is to us. On our website, it says we are a welcoming congregation recognized by the Unitarian Universalist Association. This means we affirm and include people who are lesbian, gay, bisexual, transgender, and queer at every level of congregational life. In worship, in program, and in social occasions, welcoming them as whole people. And we pledge. I want you to think about this. This is what we say on our website. This is what we pledge. To honor the lives of all people and equally affirm displays of caring and affection without regard for sexual orientation. To celebrate diversity by using inclusive language and content in our worship. To incorporate an understanding of the experience of lesbian, gay, bisexual, transgender, and queer persons throughout our programs, including religious education. To affirm marriage equality and conduct same-sex marriages. To advocate for lesbian, gay, bisexual, transgender, and queer people, promoting justice, freedom, and equality in the larger society. We speak out when the rights and dignities of the LGBTQ people are at stake. We recognize there is always something more to learn and remain open to deepening our understanding about the lives of lesbian, gay, bisexual, transgender, and queer persons. Now, this doesn't mention genderqueer, non-binary, asexual. We'll add those, but the list will continue. My friends, we are in a difficult time right now. We have a conservative county, a conservative state, and this country where rights are being rolled back for many people, include the LGBTQ community and people of color and marginalized people, so many people. You know, our Welcoming Congregation Social Justice Group is working to stand up to these threats. And I don't know how much you know about them, but they have been working hard, not just here in this community, but in the larger community in which we live. They're working right now to reestablish a PFLAG chapter here in Indian River County. PFLAG, if you don't know, is a support system for parents, families, and friends of lesbian and gays. But PFLAG is so much more than that, represents so much more than that for a community. It's a safe place for people who are LGBTQ and their allies to get together and be able to be in community. And not only that, right now, transgender young adults and families with transgender youth are joining with PFLAG National and GLMA, which is the health professionals advocating for LGBTQ+, in a federal legal challenge against an executive order from the current administration attempting to shut down access to necessary health care for transgender people under 19 nationwide. Brian K. Bond, him, Chief Executive Officer of PFLAG National, said PFLAG parents are good and decent people who love their trans kids and want them to grow up to be thriving, happy adults. Yet President Trump and other politicians maliciously harm our families by denying them access to physician-prescribed, medically recommended care. This order puts trans and non-binary people and their families at risk, and we're not putting up with it. To every transgender and non-binary youth and young adult, every parent, every family, know this. PFLAG National is not backing down from this fight. PFLAG's gotcha. This is the group our welcoming committee is trying to bring here to Indian River County. I want to tell you a few other things that our welcoming congregation group is doing. Just so you know, they are active. They are doing behind-the-scenes work that you may never see. They worked to put this service together, and they'll be putting together services during Pride Week. They're providing experiences about issues and histories related to the LGBTQ community, like a class that they're putting on the 18th, February 18th, Who is Sappho? Right here at UUFEB. And when you go into that coffee hour in just a few minutes, I know you want to get going, you'll always see their table, bringing you up to date on what's going on for the LGBTQ community. See, their role here is not just to do these things, it's to keep records of these things so that they send them to the UUA and keep our certification up to date. Year after year, they send it in. They keep records of all these things that they're doing in the community and here so that we keep this up to date. One of those things that they do is try to help us remember that there are LGBTQ dates important to this community. They want the larger community out there to know that we are LGBTQ friendly. And so we are putting these dates these important LGBTQ dates on our Facebook page and other social media so people know what they are. Here are some of them. National Black HIV/AIDS Awareness Day, International Transgender Day of Visibility, Day of Silence, Lesbian Visibility Day, International Day Against Homophobia, Transphobia, and Biphobia, LGBTQ Pride Month. Let's go to the next one. Pulse Night of Remembrance, Stonewall Riots Anniversary, Celebrate Bisexual Day, National Coming Out Day, Intersex Awareness Day, Transgender Day of Remembrance, World AIDS Days. These are days we need to remember. We put them on our social media, but this community here, this welcoming community, also tries to help us remember these and why they're important. I know that our welcoming congregation group here does a lot of work. Sometimes they don't get the recognition from us, all the hard work that they're doing. But my friends, please, they stood up a minute ago, they'll be at the table. Let them know what you think about what they're doing, how much you appreciate the work they do in the world, the work that they do here in this congregation. Thank you so much. We are called to be a place here of hope and safety for those under threat in the world and around us, until all people can live in this world without having to be incomplete or partial. Our welcoming congregation committee helps us do that. Until there is a world where no longer people are asked to wrench apart their heart or divide their soul from mind, from nature, from core. Until that time, we have a welcoming congregation to help us on this road. And we are part of that welcoming congregation. They may do the work, but we are the ones who carry it beyond these walls. We are the ones that talk about it here together. Let us be a blessing for those who need us in the world right now. Let us be a blessing without question. Let us be a blessing to those in need with our whole hearts. Amen. Oh, I forgot. Got to do that. So we're going to sing in just a second. But I have to say something before we sing. We're going to sing this song. You probably heard this song before. We are a gentle, angry people. You all have heard that, right? The song was written by Holly Near in the wake of the Harvey Milk assassination. Harvey Milk was the first openly gay man to be elected to public office in California. This song is a call to action. It demands that we make sure everyone knows who we are, how many we are, and that we will not be moved. We who are sad, scared, angry, loving, we are resisting. Please resist by rising right now in body or spirit and singing. We are a gentle, angry people.
Gentle, angry are singing, singing for our lives.
Our closing words are written by Unitarian Universalist Reverend Dr. David Breeden. Let's be the welcome we crave, open hearts and arms outstretched. Let's embody radical welcoming, unquestioning love. Let's be the welcome we crave, deeply hearing voices and hearts. Let us be the welcome we crave, enriching and understanding. Let us embody the community we crave. Together. Amen.